Okay, one last recipe for you. This is just a classic. We're talking about a Caesar salad. It's my husband Bob's favorite, and it's one of those things I think a lot of people order out of the restaurants, but you know, they're intimidated to do it at home. Or they buy the bottled Caesar dressing at the grocery store and they wonder, why doesn't it taste as good as it does at the restaurant? Well, you know what? You can be in the salad dressing business in no time. You know, just a few easy things to collect in your pantry, different vinegars, different oils, some Dijon mustard, Worcestershire sauce, and you can whip up a bunch of different dressings. So for this one, homemade Caesar salad dressing, we're going to do it in a snap. I mean, it just doesn't get much easier than this. First thing I'm going to do is I've got some fresh lemon juice, and I'm going to do this. I have a few different recipes for this. There's one that I do in the blender, but we're going to keep it real simple and just do it right in the same bowl. Yes, Anne loves it when I use the same bowl. That means less dishes for her to wash. So fresh lemon juice is the first thing we're going to put in here. And I'm going to do about the juice of, that was about one whole lemon. Then I'm adding in a little salt. You always want to add your oil last. Pepper. Fresh garlic, 1 to 2 cloves of fresh garlic, or you can use the bottled jar garlic. A little bit, do about a teaspoon or so of Dijon mustard. I don't like it too mustardy. If you like anchovy paste or anchovy, the flavor, you could certainly do a little bit of that. Bob's not a big fan. I happen to like it, but so I leave it out for him. And instead of using regular anchovy, I use anchovy paste, which comes in a tube. It looks like a little toothpaste tube. You can get it right at festivals, not very expensive, and a tube will last you for a long, long time. And that's, if you want that little hint of anchovy, you can certainly put it in your dressing, but you don't need to. Okay, one of the things that, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, a teaspoon of that, and I normally don't measure at home because it's one more dish to wash. Red wine vinegar, so we have two different acids here. We have red wine vinegar and the lemon juice. And I always start with, before I add the oil, I get this going. Now, I'm not going to do any raw egg in my Caesar salad because I don't like to worry about that. I think people are nervous about that. But instead of the raw egg, I'm doing a couple tablespoons of mayonnaise, which is going to thicken up this dressing a little bit without adding egg, the egg yolk, which a lot of places do fresh egg yolk. This is going to kind of give you the same idea. It'll cling to the greens like a creamier Caesar dressing. You could certainly use light mayo too. Okay. Now at this point, we're going to slowly drizzle in. And Anne, I may have you help me here. Sometimes this is a two-handed job. Slowly drizzle in your olive oil. And I'm whisking, 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 or you could do this in a blender. But you see how this is going to thicken up, or the big word the chefs use is emulsify. Beautiful. See how that's thickening up? It's going to really cling to the greens. Perfect. Okay. Nice job, Ian. And a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese. We're almost to the finish line on this. This just doesn't get any easier. And I like to put a little fresh on top, too. Okay, so there's our homemade Caesar dressing. See, this is no big deal. You can do this. You can. Now, this makes a really big batch, so we don't need all that dressing for this salad. So I'm going to get another big bowl. And I like to use hearts of romaine lettuce, which come in a 3-pack normally. Romaine is traditionally the lettuce you use in a Caesar salad, and it's one of my favorites. It's got an odd crunch to it, but it's actually very good for you, unlike iceberg lettuce, which really doesn't, you know, it may taste great, but it doesn't have all the good stuff in it. Romaine does. All right, so into my bowl. And then I very carefully, don't want to like overdo it. I basically do a little bit of my dressing. And this dressing, by the way, will keep in your fridge for up to a week. So you can be having Caesar salads all week long. And then I take some tongs and just give it a toss. And if I need more dressing, I add a little more. Which in this case, a little bit more, not a ton. I don't like it when it's sog central. I used to overdress all my salads, and then all you can taste is a dressing. And now I've learned to really kind of back off on it. A little bit of fresh pepper, and then some grated or shredded fresh Parmesan cheese, and then I'll make it look all pretty in the bowl coming up next with some fresh croutons. So Caesar salad is easy. Told you, you can do this. Recipes on our website, and we'll be right back, so stay with us.